behalf of the Bermuda Police Service, I wish to begin by expressing sincere condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of Mr. Randy Robinson, who tragically lost his life last night at the young age of 22. At about 8:30 p.m. last night, police received a number of telephone calls reporting of hearing gunshots in the Frizzle Seal area. There was an immediate response. On arrival, 22-year-old victim, Mr. Robinson, was lying in an unresponsive condition on Water Lane in Pembroke. Police observed that he sustained a number of what they believed to be gunshot wounds. A doctor attended the scene and certified death shortly thereafter. Police immediately commenced investigations into this matter under the command of Chief Inspector Nicholas Pedro and his staff at the Serious Crime Unit. The scene is being forensically examined by the Bermuda Police Service forensic team, and a forensic pathologist is due on the island tomorrow to perform a forensic autopsy on the body of Mr. Robinson. A number of persons, both at the scene last night and others through investigative links, have been spoken to and interviewed thus far, and the investigation is progressing. Currently, there are 4 persons in police custody, and they will be spoken to throughout the coming days. Investigators would like to make the following appeal. Anyone with information regarding the identification of 2 men riding in the Frizzle Seal, Water Lane, and Palmetto Road areas last night on a black motorcycle wearing dark clothing during the evening, nighttime, hours leading up and immediately after the shooting. So anyone seeing 2 gentlemen wearing dark clothing on a dark colored motorcycle or in and around this area either before, immediately after, or leading up to the shooting. Any persons that were in the above named areas during the evening or nighttime of last night, in other words, if anyone was sitting out or anyone had just entered their residence or cars who was in that area, may have seen anything suspicious or any activity in that area, we'll ask them to call us. And in addition to that, any persons who have any information regarding this incident, whether they believe it to be important or not, we'll ask them to contact either the Bermuda Police Service, Serious Crime Unit, 295-0011, or the Confidential Crime Stop Us hotline at 1-800-8477. And I now pass it over to Mr. Mirfield.
Thank you. We'll repeat those numbers at the end of the conference. Last night I witnessed firsthand the inconsolable grief of a family who in the blink of an eye experienced their beloved son gunned down in cold blood on our streets. I cannot even start to imagine how they feel, but as a police officer I have lived with grief for far too long. The devastation of that grief is deep and irreversible. My heartfelt sympathy again goes to the family and friends of Randy. Once again I sit here talking about a cowardly, sickening attack, which again this clearly is. Once again it's resulted in a young Bermudian man losing his life. You can ask the question, and I ask it every day to myself, when will this stop? My job and that of my colleagues in the Bermuda Police Service is to catch and convict those responsible for these atrocities. We do that with marked success, as you know, as I've spoken about in the past. We also play our role in the prevention of such crimes. However, both of these require a consolidated approach from not only our partner agencies, but also the community as a whole. In fact, only 2 days ago, I was speaking to the media and said to a reporter that this type of tit-for-tat violence escalates extremely rapidly. I've witnessed it here in Bermuda, and I've also witnessed it elsewhere during my career. Stopping what is often an indiscriminate chain of events is absolutely crucial. I make this appeal personally. We cannot continue on the same track. We can all play our part in this. Yes, as a police service, we seize all lawful opportunities to set up roadblocks. We can use our legitimate stop and search powers. We can break down the door of every gang member in Bermuda. And as you know, we do plenty of that using all lawful means at our disposal. And we will continue to act swiftly on all information regarding suspects and the location of guns and bring those persons to justice. But that alone will not stop the killing. Simple truth is that we cannot be everywhere. Communities can help us stop this, and together we can stop this violence. But it is a partnership of everybody, and I reinforce that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
So we now have some time for questions.
Yeah. Can you give any information as to the circumstances surrounding the 4 individuals who have been brought in? You didn't say arrested or in custody to assist police with these investigations, whether they were known individuals known to the police, people already saying that this is gang related, whether you think it is in fact gang related or anything of that nature?
Yeah, Gary, now I would like to use the term assist the police. We do have 4 individuals, they are under arrest, and they will be interviewed throughout the day, today and tomorrow, hopefully. But like I said, I don't like to use the term assist. In terms of being known to the police, yes, we do know a number of the individuals, and we do believe that this is in fact gang related. That's not to say that the individual or the victim was a gang member, but we do think that it's gang related.
There had appeared to be something of a lull, my words, in this kind of activity. The police had been making a lot of headway. There is a feeling in the community that some of the major players have either been killed or they're now in custody, and there appears to be a vacuum that's been left. And so individuals, we're now seeing a resurgence because individuals are trying to fill that vacuum, assume the leadership roles of these gangs.
I agree. We have had a huge amount of success. Westgate is at the moment full of senior gang members, and as you know from the trial on Monday, another gang member, the 9th in succession, has been sentenced for gun crime and in this occasion murder. And it is a sad reality and a phenomenon that when these top positions are vacated, other gang members seek to jostle the position. So yes, I think you can probably say that we are witnessing that. And I've said before that the younger gang members, and I'm not saying that this murder last night was committed by younger gang members. That is for us to obviously ascertain during our investigations. However, younger gang members will attempt to take positions of authority within their ranks, and yes, that could be a phenomenon that we're seeing.
You talked about it being gang related, but would you say it's retaliation or linked to the recent court cases?
It's very difficult. I mean, I spoke about tit for tat, and I believe that this probably is something along those lines, that one fraction has decided that another fraction needs to be taught a lesson, however you want to put it, but tit for tat and often on something very, very unspecific and simple can occur, and that chain of events is grossly exaggerated and turns into this cowardly, wanton violence ending in such tragic events as we saw last night. And it is reprehensible and unbelievable to think that such simple events that can take place result in these tragic circumstances. But quite often that is sadly the case.
More and more on the street we keep hearing, if I can't get you, I'll get the family member closest to you. Is this being evidenced by these latest shootings?
Again, sadly it's too early to actually say if that is the truth, but that certainly is one aspect that we're looking at.
any indication that the firearm used in this incident has been used previously in other incidents? It's been shown by the police that we're seeing the same firearm being used repeatedly, as highlighted in at least the last 2 court cases that we've witnessed.
Gary, as you know, we don't have a particular forensic layer on the island, so this the ballistic testing is done overseas, so we wouldn't know that right away, but we're looking into that avenue.
Mr. Mirfield has asked for the public's assistance. What has been the response from the people in that community thus far?
The response has been pretty good. We've spoken to a number of individuals who've given us some information. I don't want to be too specific at this early stage. As you know, it's not even 24 hours into the investigation. But I would say the public response thus far has been pretty good.
Do we have anybody else with any questions?
Can you go into any more detail about the number of gunshots or the where they hit, the injuries to the victim?
No, we won't reveal that type of information.
Any other questions?
Last evening, there was a different turn at this crime scene than other crime scenes. What does that say to you?
You have to identify what turn you speak of.
I mean, there was a quiet, there was a silence, there was more of a reverence at this particular crime scene than I've seen at any other scene.
As you know, I was present at the crime scene from very early on. One of the first officers to actually attend the scene, and there was a mixture of emotions. There was a lot of emotion, as you can imagine, from family and friends. And but in all honesty, I didn't see that much difference to other crime scenes. It was probably the type of crime scene that I've sadly seen all too often, if I'm honest.
Are there any other questions?